Welcome to 𝐂𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐓 Show. My name is Master 𝐂𝐍𝐍, your host. It's a pathetic situation which most people would like to hear. Can you explain in detail the issue you were facing during the time you were married?
Actually, initially, every marriage comes like a blessing. It started like a blessing. It was a union, a relationship that started we had a relationship for like 2 years before we got married. And gracefully, we got married at the registry in Shomolu. Then we went for the normal traditional, which all the families were present. Everything was fine. But at a point in time, my wife developed some sickness from her breast. So as a man, I don't know much about women's private parts. I had to tell her to meet her mom. But it was after she had the second child, because she had, we had 3 children in 4 years. So after she had the second child, that we discovered that she had lump
in the breast.
In the breast. So when I now took her to the hospital, General Hospital in Bagada, she was diagnosed that she had cancer. So then I had to quickly register her so that they can take care of her.
Start the treatment, yeah.
So at the long run, the family just came around and said, they can treat it in their hometown.
Traditional way?
Yes. That it is not a cancer. It is a spiritual attack. And I said, at least I'm married to your daughter. It does not mean you don't have right on her. So I allowed them take her to their hometown. And before I know it, and that was the beginning of another life.
Yeah.
Then she had a baby.
Why she was sick?
She was sick, yes.
She had a baby
with the
while
cancer,
she was sick?
Yes.
She was already pregnant?
Yes, when we discovered. So by the time she gave birth to the baby was just 4 months. And by the time she spent 2 months in her father's village, the baby was around 6 months. She died. So they just called me that I should come, that I should come and see my wife. I said, what happened? So on getting there, I realized that she's lifeless. The funniest thing...
They didn't tell you she died when they called you?
They told me.
They told you over the phone?
Yes,
that your wife is dead?
That she's died. The only thing I asked was, but she didn't tell me she's not coming back home now. She said she will go and she will come back. So I had to call my father. I had to call a friend that has to follow me there. It was on a Sunday morning, March 10. So I had to go there. On getting there, I realized that the family members showed me the room that she was being laid. On getting there, I was locked inside.
They locked you with your wife?
Yes.
Inside the room?
Yes. So, unlocking, looking at her, looking at the wound on her breast, I was just talking to her that, but you didn't tell me this. You only told me you'll be coming back. But what happened? We have been having communication. So, babe, what is it? I was just talking. Then I was overhearing people outside that, it was a wedded loco. It was a wedded loco. What you did to him, if you don't release him, it may lead to problem. So immediately, I just saw some men that came in. They opened the door and said, I should come out. I never even knew I had been locked inside. I never knew I was locked inside. It was my dad that now told me that I was locked inside. And for the funny fact about life, that was the beginning of my experience in life. Wow. Because I used to watch it in a film that you see ghosts. This I saw her standing on the wall, telling me that don't mind them, don't mind them. They are just trying to just push you. They're just trying to. So funny enough, they asked me that what am I going to do to the corpse? I said, I can't be carrying her to my village. In fact, I don't go to my village. My father only goes to my village. So if I want to now go to my village, will I carry dead body there?
No, okay.
I said we should arrange for a burial there. So the father came in and was persuading them. I never knew some of the families that did not attend the wedding were accusing the father that he did not tell them. Because when they were saying it was a wedded lock, some of them that attended the wedding were saying, they attended the wedding, they did court wedding, they did traditional. So the case was somehow. Immediately we did everything. She was being buried. The next thing I saw was my baby was just brought to me.
Was your baby?
The 6-month-old baby.
Okay, yeah.
That, you know, she took the baby there because the baby was still breastfeeding with the one breast. So immediately I took the baby back. My sister came around, took the baby for like a week. The baby was disturbing. She had to return the baby to me. I was all alone. The next thing that came up was I just realized that my family members, everybody was not backing off.
Your own
My
family?
own family members. My mother-in-law was nowhere to be found. I did not even see her. I was now asking for her that, let her help me with this baby. What am I going to do? How will I cope with this baby? I still have 2 other girls that I'm taking care of in Lagos while my wife was in the village. I did not see anybody. The father-in-law was weak. He could not do anything. In fact, the case led to my father-in-law's sickness. It was my wife's death that killed my father-in-law. Because he was so worried, he was so disturbed. She is a kind of person, very industrious, very helpful. But at the long run, I had to let
go.
Life move on.
Very pathetic story. Don't go away. Stay right there. We'll be right back.
If they live for Benin, and she can't reason how she could take reach Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, or Port Harcourt, where transport no go to chop money. Now we introduce Go My Way Ride. With Go My Way Ride, you fit travel with person wey get empty seat for a motor, and where they go the same way where you they go for small money. You book your seat for Go My Way Ride, no matter at all. Drivers just put their empty seat for our platform. And you go just make payment online with your debit card to reserve your seat. No worry, we go collect your money, come send them to the driver after your journey. Because all Go My Way Ride members, they rated and verified. You go fit travel safely. And you fit even choose the people where you want follow travel. You go even fit see the motor where go carry you travel, and the driver will even carry you. Go My Way Ride on the waka since 2019. And members don't bofu. Our mission na to make travel very easy, social, cheap, and sustainable for everybody within Nigeria and abroad. Make una join Go My Way Ride. Sign up na free.
Welcome back. Now we continue from where we stopped, the previous scene. How many children do you have with this your wife that died? And how old was the youngest baby when she died?
And the marriage was blessed with 3 kids, 2 girls and a boy. And the youngest was 6 months and 2 weeks when I lost my wife.
And did you face any difficulty when the children were just left with you without no assistance?
It was a hell of stress. It was a very hell of stress because when the incident happened, I have lost my strength. I couldn't walk. I have to take care of the kids. I had to feed them. I had to clean them up. In fact, I could remember clearly that my first child then was the one giving me the major stress.
How old was the first one?
She was 3 then.
3, yeah.
Yes. So
These are terrible
then,
3.
so by the time she pee on herself or wee on herself, I'm trying to attend to her. The baby is crying. I want to attend to the baby. In fact, I had to come into a scene that I now introduce the habit of playing music for them. So to distract when I'm attending to one of them. So till now, that my baby then loves music. Because that is what I used to calm him down.
Yeah. What are the challenges you faced raising the children by yourself?
I just have to mention few, because one, the financial stand to raise them was very, very bitter because there was nobody around. When I was working, when my wife was alive, I had friends. In fact, the work I was doing, my friends, when they close in their offices, they come around me. We eat, we chat together. Then, there was nobody again. In fact, there was a big challenge I later had. 6 months after the demise of my wife, I was faced with the challenge of accommodation. That I had to quit. The house I was living was built very close to a canal. And there was a particular politician in that area. The canal passed through his house. So they had to divert because he's a very notable person in Bariga then. So they had to channel the diversion to my house. So I was facing another challenge of accommodation. Funny enough, a month after that, the workshop I was working, that I used to work, the same set of people that came for the demolition of my house came for the demolition of the shop, that they said they don't want kiosk and container on the road. So I had to face them and challenge them that, come, you people came to my house to demolish my house. You are still coming to my shop. In fact, they had to give me for like 9 months to leave my kiosk. Then that they just have to let this guy be, because I had to talk that, you people, do you want to kill me? I don't have a wife. I have 3 children. You've come to demolish my house. I have to squat. And now the workshop that I'm trying to raise so that I can feed the kids, you people have come to demolish again. They left only my workshop.
Those your friends, were they supportive?
I did not see any. In fact, there was a day I had to call one of my friends because, you know, as in the normal custom, when you lose somebody, you have to stay in the house. Because somebody told me that at least I'm still young, I can just spend like 15 days in the house. That 15 days was like 15 years.
Yes.
I called one of my friends. I told him that I could remember clearly. I told him I needed 1,000 naira so that I can buy some stuffs in the house so I can store, so that the children can feed on. The guy said he will get back to me. In fact, since then, I always find it difficult to ask people anything.
Because did he give you the 1,000?
He did not turn back. And the families, nobody. In fact, there was a scene that my father did then. In fact, I looked at him, if it were not to be that he was my father. Because when the pressure was, the heat was very hot, my father came to me and said, why don't you pray? Why don't you pray? Look at what you have messed yourself in. This, that. He was just talking. You know,
that was going to be my next question about your family. Your family and her family. What is the relationship between you, her family, your family?
Let me say, initially when the relationship started, I was seeing...
No, not between you and your wife.
Yes.
The relationship with your wife's family.
That is what I'm saying. when the relationship started, I was seeing a very cordial relationship. But when challenges come, you see, when you don't have any issue, you don't know your friend.
No.
So I was seeing a family that has a listening ear to me, that has a listening ear to her. I could remember vividly my daddy told my late wife then that, don't come and report my son to me. Anything that happens between you guys, you people should sort it. And so also she should not go and report to her family. You know, if I didn't be there, had been an issue from the onset, before we went to the registry, before we did the engagement, you know, I would have said, okay, definitely there is something wrong about it.
So no friends, no family. What about your community? Did they come into?
In fact, that is where I am most pleased with God. Because the people that came to my aid were people I have never seen in my life. They were just people that just hear about my story and came around to ask me questions, and they came around to help me. One, I have like 3 people that were very, very mean, very, very important to me. In fact, if I have the grace today, I will always appreciate their families. There was a woman in my parish, in my church. There was a woman that happens to be my client that I work for, and a friend. That friend happens to be a not too close friend to my late wife, but she knew my wife. She knew how she was being nice, she's being quiet, not a troublesome person. You know, those 3 people were the ones assisting that came to my aid. In fact, they helped me to the extent that by the time I want to raise my baby in the Red Cross, they stood by me when I had to go to Lut to get some papers for him. They stood by me, they gave me money. The HIV test that I'm supposed to do, waste time. Immediately I took the boy there, they were like, nothing happens to this boy. Bring him, bring him. You know, everything was just on God's mercy. But no family, no relations, in fact, no in-law. But different set of people came to my head.
If you're a viewer there watching us, this is a very pathetic story. And we need your comments. Send all your comments to us through our comment section. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. We'll be right back.
Hello Nigerians, a better way to ride share has arrived. Introducing Go My Way Ride. Go My Way Ride is a city-to-city ride-sharing platform that makes it easy, safe, convenient to share trips between cities in Nigeria. Drivers make money by filling up their empty seats when driving from one city to another. If you're a passenger, connect with drivers going your way. On the platform, it's affordable, comfortable, and secured. Do you know over 6,000 people have joined Go My Way Ride in Nigeria and shared over 20,000 kilometers safely together? Why not join today and save some money? Sign up is free. Visit www.gomywayride.com or download the app in Play Store and App Store. Get 10% off any ride. This is the Nigerian Carpool Solution.
Welcome back. So we're going to continue from where we stopped. What do you do now to bring food to the table for yourself and your children?
There was an adage in my dialect that says, "Iṣẹ́ kò tó ni èèyàn ló ń jẹ́ kí èèyàn sọ pé òun ń ṣiṣẹ́ kan." So when all this incident happened, I had to go back to technical school. I went to 𝐂𝐎𝐓 Technical School at Surulere to buttress my furniture. Then I studied carpentry fully. So initially, I learned how to do upholstery. I make chairs, make cars upholstery. Then when I got to the school, by the grace of God, I happen to be the best student because I've been practicing. So I learned how to make furnitures. I learned how to make roofing. Then at the long run, after that, I later realized that there was something they call calling.
Calling?
Yes, in my life.
In church?
Yes. So presently, I had to run the 4 kind of works. So anyone that comes to the table, that is what I do.
Yes.
So that is what I do to manage the family and the children.
Carpentry.
Yes.
When you say calling, were you called to be a pastor?
Yeah, actually in life, I realized that coming to life has more to do than you just willing that you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer. There is always an opportunity for everyone. There is a purpose of our coming to life. And I realized, it was through this calling I realized that it doesn't really matter the kind of job you do and the calling of God in your life. If you can manage the two, because calling has to do with the accommodation of you taking care of people for God, while your work you do to take care of your own personal family. So I'm saying it's more of the physical and of the spiritual.
If you are still here watching, please, I'm begging, we need your comments in the comment section. Tell us what you feel about this guy, how he would have handled the situation, or otherwise. Moving on, Mr. Akiwumi.
Yes, sir.
After your wife died,
Yes.
did you remarry?
Yes.
Or you are living as a single father?
For like 5 years, I had to wait, raising my kids. But it got to a stage that people were advising that I have to move on, that that's not the end of life. So I had to reconsider resettling down. So I remarried. Though, this time around, it was not legal.
Was it legal?
It was just because the initial issue was the lady's father did not accept the relationship.
Was she from a different tribe?
She's from my tribe.
She's a Yoruba woman?
Yes.
And the parents did not accept the relationship? Okay, go ahead.
So that left alone as a mark in the relationship. So that alone gives an edge to the lady, because it got to an extent that, you know, when I'm paying attention to my kids,
Children.
she wants to always draw my attention to herself,
To her.
trying to let her understand that the aspect of a wife is different to the aspect of children. She doesn't want to listen. She nags. I mean, I don't like nagging. Life.
Was she happy you taking care of the children?
Initially, that was what she told me she's going to do, that she's going to help me. In fact, before I got married to her, I've taken my children to the boarding school. There was a school in Agbowa, Home of God's Grace Orphanage. That was where I took my children to. They have been there. She told me she's going to help. In fact, when she came into my life...
1 second. If you're still watching, is it advisable for a widower to marry another wife when the kids are still young? Please, let's get your comment in the comment section. Go ahead.
So, initially when we started, she said she's going to help because she was a teacher. She put in an application to the school where she was admitted. She started working there. But at the long run, I realized that she was even the problem my children were having in the school.
Was she teaching the same school of your children?
Yes.
Okay.
She said she wanted to help me so that she would be able to oversee the children. In fact, my children had to be withdrawn from the school. And that was the new stage of another story in my life.
Okay. What was your experience with the new wife? Does she have a child for you?
Yes.
How many?
She had 3 kids.
For you?
Yes.
You already had 3.
Yes.
So this one can come, give you another 3.
Initially, when I had her, my dad told me she's going to be competitive. I was looking at him that, what is competition? She is a teacher. She understands that she's going to help in assistance. But before I knew it, she was just taking the step
Of having children.
of having children. Before I know it, she would just have issues with me. She'll stay away. She won't allow me touch her.
And she come back with a child.
No, we stay in the same house. We sleep on the same bed. You know, ladies' issue.
I don't know.
She doesn't allow me. So before you know it, when she's ready to conceive, then we settle dispute.
She will shake her hand.
So by the time we settle dispute, another baby is there.
She's pregnant.
So that was how she had been doing it.
Was that your plan or that was not your plan?
Our plan was to have
Children.
one.
Part of your plan was to have 1 child.
Yes.
But she
That
ended up with 3.
Probably later in life, she will have 1 more. So that has been the
issue.
experience.
Damn. I'm speechless with this your story. Very, very speechless. But we'll be right back.
Efe dey live for Benin and she can't reason how she could take reach Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, or Port Harcourt where transport no go to chop money. Now we introduce Go My Way Ride. With Go My Way Ride, you fit travel with person wey get empty seat for a motor and where they go the same way where you dey go for small money. You book your seat for Go My Way Ride no matter at all. Drivers dey just put their empty seat for our platform. And you go just make payment online with your debit card to reserve your seat. No worry, we go collect your money, come send them to the driver after your journey. Because all Go My Way Ride members, they rated and verified. You go fit travel safely. And you fit even choose the people where you want follow travel. You go even fit see the motor where go carry you travel and the driver will go carry you. Go My Way Ride on the waka since 2019. And members don't boku. Our mission na to make travel very easy, social, cheap, and sustainable for everybody within Nigeria and abroad. Make una join Go My Way Ride. Sign up, na free.
Welcome back. We're going to continue with Mr. 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐓.
Sir.
Okay. The next question, 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐓, please explain to us very well. What relationship does this woman, this is your second wife, has with your previous children and her children? What relationship does she have with all these children?
The kind of relationship that she intended having, was to have her children to herself and to always see my children as nobody.
Second class.
But probably because I stood my ground, I had to let her understand. In fact, I called the children from the onset. My older children, I told them, these kids bears your name. Your blood runs in their blood. Your father is their father. No matter what the mother is doing, don't look at it. You have to face me. Whatever is going on, let peace reign in the house. In fact, if not for the grace of God, trying to manage the family, she would have caused a lot of harm, which she tried, because
Caused a lot of harm to your previous children?
yes, which she tried, and I had to separate the family at a point, because I had to rent a room apartment for my older children so that they can be safe. Because she would always come beating, she would come molesting, even the ones she had. Because there is one the first child she had for me was very close to my other children. So that one was like an enemy to her. That why? Every time you want to go to these people, she's seeing them like the Israelites to the Persians. She always wants them to be at war. But I don't allow that. But till date, I still made sure my children had good relationship.
Nice. This is a very pathetic story. I'm kind of speechless again. I don't know how to continue, but we're going to continue to the end of this game. And if you are watching, please stay tuned till the end of this story. Moving on, Akunwumi, have you communicated this issue with your family, friends, and your community? Have you communicated this issue to them?
Yes.
I know you don't have friends. That one's out. Family is out. You don't have family. Because all of them backed out from you. Now let's come to the community you are living. What is their take on this?
Actually, you know, I look at something in life. With my age, I should be able to run my home. And let me say, if I say I don't have friends, I say not really, because I have church members that we can just chat and talk with. I have my pastor. I have a senior teacher in the Word of God that I always communicate with. I've tried to bring him in to let her see this issue, but she's not yielding to it.
Was that your pastor?
Yes, my pastor do come into the situation.
Was that helping at all?
In fact, it was as if when you just say a word, and the person you told after you left has forgotten. So what she intends doing is what she has in mind.
Do you go to the same church?
Yes. Initially, we go to the same church, but at a point in time, she said she preferred to go to
A different church.
a different church.
Was she initially from a different church?
Yes.
Initially.
Yes.
But when you guys get married,
Yes.
she decided to be going to your
Yes,
church.
my church.
Okay. So after a while now, she said, okay,
She's not going
I gotta
my
go
church.
to my original church.
Not even the original church. She just choose to go to any church she feel like. And at times she won't even go to church. She will tell me she's going to church. When I go to church, she will come back home and just have her own time.
Now, the lady, is the lady still with you?
No.
No more.
No.
Right now, are you a single man or you want to marry a third wife?
I just want to believe in life that when you have a knife and you are caught with a knife, does that mean you are not going to have a knife again? I might say that I'm not going to have children, but later in my life, I still need a companion.
You do.
Because I realized that a lot of people that died was as a result of high blood pressure.
Yes.
They don't have someone to share their views, their thinking, their thoughts with. And I'm seeing the future that my children are getting older. Someday, somehow, I won't tell them if God will permit them to move to any other country in the world, that they should not go because of me. So I'm looking at it that at least I'm still going to settle down, but might not be
right away. That's good. If you're watching, we need your advice on that statement. He might still get married to another wife, making the third wife. But we want to hear comments from every viewer. Should he go for a third one, or he should remain single and take care of his children? That one I want to see in the comment section. Moving on, 𝐂𝐓𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓.
so.
It's an interesting story. What do you learn so far from all these experiences?
As the English will say that experience is the best teacher. I'm getting wise. I'm getting more knowledge. And in fact, I had to learn how to manage my family, the extended family, the community, that it is not when you have that you expect them to always hail you. But when you don't have, then you learn a lot from them. Because I have been bittered, and yet I realized that being in bitterness would only cause more harm to me. So I learned a lot that will only keep me to myself. That not everything you see or you hear, you just get angry with, or you want to burst, you want to talk, you want to get bittered. It won't give good result.
Interesting. My next question is, how has this experience affected you mentally and life in general?
If I want to talk about the mental experience, it has been like a psychiatric issue. Because you alone thinking of your kids, thinking of how to raise money, and at times when you even try to raise some money, somebody is there to squander the money, not making things work, so that it will make you look useless to the children. So that's why I said it looked like a psychiatric issue. But with God, I think I'm good, because He's always helping me, and most times when I communicate and pray, He's always there to respond to me.
Okay. If you are still watching, please stay right there. We will be right back.
Hello Nigerians, a better way to ride share has arrived. Introducing Go My Way Ride. Go My Way Ride is a city-to-city ride-sharing platform that makes it easy, safe, convenient to share trips between cities in Nigeria. Drivers make money by filling up their empty seats when driving from one city to another. If you're a passenger, connect with drivers going your way. On the platform, it's affordable, comfortable, and secured. Do you know over 6,000 people have joined Go My Way Ride in Nigeria and shared over 20,000 kilometers safely together? Why not join today and save some money? Sign up is free. Visit www.gomywayride.com or download the app in Play Store and App Store. Get 10% off any ride. This is the Nigerian Carpool Solution.
Welcome back to Mr. 𝐂𝐓𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓's story. Moving on, 𝐂𝐓𝐓,
So,
how many years do you think a man should wait before getting married to another wife when he has a problem with the former one?
this is a serious issue, because it depends on the kind of gene everyone has. Unlike my own story, it took me 6 months that I started missing my wife.
6 months
6 months, just
before you
6
start
months.
to miss her.
As in, you know, when you want to talk about marriage, the major relationship there should be the intercourse between you and the woman. One of the reasons why you want to get a woman around you is because you want to show your emotional feelings.
Was she a good woman to you?
Very, very good. Very, very good. In fact, I'm missing her. So,
Okay, my question now is, how long do you need to stay?
that is why I want to say this. Because after that 6 months, I've been facing a lot of physical challenges. You know, as a man, I always feel like a man. I always feel greatly like a man. So it depends on the kind of gene anyone has. But the most important thing there is not just any woman. Because it's just going to be like a thorn in another flesh. It's going to be another pain. Because, I'm sorry to say this, some ladies are very pretensive. They will tell you they will do this, but all the way around, because they needed that relationship. So if I would advise, I would rather tell anyone, try and study the person you seem you want to marry to. Try and give some trials. Because relationship is all about endurance.
So you are saying you should date anybody you want to marry, not just jump into any relationship and marry.
Yes.
Did you jump into the second wife relationship?
I had to wait. That was what I was saying. That she pretended that she's going to help me. She saw me in the frame that this guy need a woman. So at the long run, all what she wanted, she was not getting. Now she had to back out.
You have not answered that question.
Okay.
How long does a man need to wait?
If it
After
will
the
take
first-
you, if it will take you 1, 2, or 3 years to study a woman, you need to study. At least before you get a BSc in the school, you have to go for like 3-4 years course. So if it will take you 3-4 years course to study a woman,
her.
you need to.
But most women
Because
will not
it's,
wait for that.
it's
4 years.
unreversible. Because I learned of late now that even for you to go to registry that you want to take a divorce is very, very expensive. So a relationship that you want to go into that you be thinking of, maybe when it's not working, you want to go for a divorce, you spend close to ₦1 million because you want to file a divorce. So it's better you take your time.
And go to the right one.
So that's my advice.
You guys have heard from the horse's mouth. You need to be with a woman or a man for at least 1, 2, 3 years. According to him, maybe 4 years before you tie the knot. Don't jump into any marriage and say because she fine, because she get money, because she get big bakasi or everything, you jump into it. You need to study that woman before you jump into it. Or else, you're going to come to this studio to tell us your story. Moving on. What advice do you have for somebody going through the same thing you went through?
My best
Good advice to them.
My best advice is to be patient. Don't jump and conclude on anything. And always be prayerful. Always have your quiet time with God. Because one thing I learned about life is there's nothing any man will go through in life that God doesn't know. He knew you can face that challenge. That's why he allowed you.
Oh, God?
Yes. God knew you are capable to solve that
So he will not give you a problem you cannot
that you
handle.
cannot solve.
You've heard him. Oh. God will never give you a problem you cannot solve. Whatever problem you are going through, you are carrying, God knows you are fit to carry that problem. So don't blame God. Why me? If not you, is it going to be me? So whatever problem you are having, God has already weighed it that you can carry it. So what Akiwumi is saying now is that pray hard, be prayerful. Tell God, this problem you are giving me is heavy, but God already knows it's heavy. You can carry it. Be prayerful. Right?
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes.
We should be, all of us should be prayerful.
Prayerful.
Prayer
Communicate
solve problems
with God. Your meditation, not the way we Christians of today believe we pray. Your meditation with God is the major thing, because your communication with God, your personal relationship with God matters.
Good.
Not when you start shouting, you want to pray, you want to speak in tongues, you shout. No. God is not deaf.
Good. That brings us to the end of this show. And if you are there still watching, thank you very much for staying tuned from the beginning to now. Right now, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, share, and give us a thumbs up, like this video. Number 2, if you have any comment for this story, please, we want to hear your comments on this issue. Good advice, bad advice, send all of it to us so we can share with this guy. And if you have anything to support this guy, because right now he's not doing anything. He needs support to raise his kids. He needs support to be able to feed. He needs support to be able to do one thing or the other. On behalf of this studio, we're going to support him. But still, whatever you have, 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, we're going to put his name on the screen. Please send to him directly. You are not sending to us. You are sending to him directly. So God will bless you for that. On behalf of this studio and my name, Master 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶, we are supporting him with cash money of 100,000 naira.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for watching. And I'll see you in the next episode.